Before we get started with today's pod, I wanted to say this right at the top. Thank you to all of the new followers over on Instagram. We have grown on ADHDFest Instagram by over 1,000 followers in just a couple of days, and it's been absolutely amazing. Please do send me a message if you're one of those new people, and let's get on with the show. Happy New Year and welcome to ADHD Fest, the podcast all about adult ADHD with a little bit of law of attraction thrown in there. I am your host, Tara Pratt, and we are in 2024. Make it your New Year's resolution to come and say hello to me over on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. Otherwise, we're not going to be friends. No, I'm only joking. I don't even believe in resolutions, but do come and say hello. As you can tell, I'm a little bit hyper at the moment. This is the first hour I've gotten to myself since before Christmas, I'm pretty sure. So I'm really enjoying the peace and the quiet. It might sound a little bit like ASMR in here today because I'm in our extension. There's a lot of glass and it is very, very rainy and grey. Anyway, let's get into this week's podcast. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be an easy one because we are talking all about fun and easy ways to manifest. Now, this is related to ADHD, I promise you, because mindset, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, a lot of the books, a lot of the instructions, a lot of the mentors focus on very boring ways to improve your mindset, to grow, have a growth mindset, to manifest good things into your life. And manifestation, it does sound a little bit woo-woo, but actually it's just science. It's just activating your subconscious mind, activating that reticular activating system to see opportunities and then have the good mindset to go for them. It is all based in science. It is all based in quantum physics and the vibration of things. So, as I say, they're geared towards the neurotypical brain. When people usually give instructions around this, there are fun ways mixed in, but mostly it's like, you must do it like this, you must do it like that. And my ADHD brain just says, nah, I don't want to. I want to make it fun. Same as anything. I want to gamify it. I want to have fun with it. Otherwise, I'm just not going to do it. We're not consistent creatures, and the only way for us to become somewhat consistent when we remember is if we make it fun. If it seems hard for our brains, if it seems dull, if it seems boring, we're just not gonna do it. So I came up with a list of my own 8 things that I do on a regular basis that I think are really fun, that you can use or have a twist on them of your own to manifest the life of your dreams in 2024. Number 1, the easiest peasiest way to manifest is through subliminals. I did a whole episode on this with sounds for ADHD. Subliminals are music that's played, like relaxing music, but underneath it are affirmations, and they can be to do with anything. They can be to do with manifesting wealth, good health, abundance, getting rid of anxiety. There's a whole host of things you can use subliminals for. It's kind of like hypnosis, but you don't hear the voice, you don't hear the affirmations because they're played at a frequency that the human ear can't hear. And they bypass our conscious mind, which is the one that questions everything, and they go straight into our subconscious. And that is where you create your beliefs. That is where we created our limiting beliefs as children. So we want to bypass those and we want to get all the good beliefs into us. And subliminals can be played at any time because you can't hear the words. You could just be listening to relaxing music while you're in the kitchen, while you're working. There's ones for focus. I like to listen to them first thing in the morning when I wake up. A lot of people listen to them going to sleep. I can't do that because it gives me vivid dreams and I feel like I haven't slept all night. But you can listen to them whenever you want, and they're the easiest way because they take no extra time whatsoever. It's not hard. And it's quite fun, really, once you get into it and you realise, hey, I'm feeling quite good today. Oh, yeah, I listened to that subliminal this morning. So that's number 1 because it is just the easiest. There's no effort needed. You can find subliminals online. I like Denise Duffield Thomas. I like Tony Robbins. And I like Francesca Amber. Oh, and Canny Crystals as well. So there's some recommendations to get some subliminals from. And they're relatively cheap. I think they're about £3. There might even be some free ones on YouTube, but I don't always trust them because I like to get, when someone is recording affirmations and I have no idea what they say, I need it from someone trusted. I don't want to be programmed to do something I don't want to do. Number 2 is, okay, bear with me. A lot of people make vision boards for their manifestations, especially for a new year. I love to make a vision board, and I've done a whole episode on that over in my Body Doubling membership. It went along with our goal setting pod episode. I'll link it down below. That was, the goal setting was free, and we did the episode of that together, and then I did a follow-up over on the membership, which you can find in the links down below as well to go with it, which was making a vision board together in real time. And I do love a vision board, but if you're not a vision board type of person, which I used to find it hard because I was a bit of a perfectionist, so I'd always want like the perfect picture, or, you know, if it's going to be up in my home, I might feel a little bit embarrassed if someone saw my vision board. So this is a great alternative, and this is my number 2 tip, and that is make a dream jar. You could also call it a vision jar. So you want to get photos out of magazines or printed off, or you can just write down phrases. You can write down a little sentence about something that you want. What is your goal? So it might be, I want to visit Tenerife this year for a week, and I want it to be idyllic, and I can't wait to have my first mimosa in the sunshine. So you could, for that goal, you could either write it down, that exact sentence, or something inspiring to you, or you could get pictures of the specific hotel you want to be at, pictures of, you know, people's legs looking out at the sea, you know, where you take them pictures and people have to guess whether it's hot dogs or legs, that type of thing. And all you're going to do is fold it up and put it in a jar. And then you pick a time that is repeatable. So I would probably pick for that when I get into bed. So first thing when I get into bed, have a little sip of water and take one thing out of my dream jar, open it up, and that is the thing you're going to visualize for 2 whole minutes. You can set a timer or whatever time you want. You could do 10 minutes, you could do 1 minute, you could do 30 seconds. Every little helps. But what this does, which is slightly different to a vision board, is it gives you some novelty, which provides dopamine. It gives you uncertainty, but it's not so uncertain that it's like creates anxiety or a fear of the unknown. So you're picking out something from that jar. You know it's a finite number of things that are in there. So you know roughly you could get one of those 5 or 6 things, but you don't know which one it's going to be, which is different to visualizing the same thing every day, because it gets monotonous, it gets boring, and our brains just don't want to do it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is create a manifesting playlist. You will have heard this before, but I wanted to share some of mine, and I wanted to remind you to do it again, because if you haven't done it, it is a really great way to manifest. It's a no thought, no decisions needed once you have created it. And I play mine in the car on the way back from driving Theo to school, or sometimes I drive it on the way there, and he loves the songs as well. So I'm going to give you some of my best manifesting songs. You can obviously choose your own. Eternal, I Am Blessed. That is a great one for gratitude. I prefer like the really uplifting ones that make me feel powerful. So I listen to a lot of Morgan St. Jean. She does songs like Energy. That is a great one. Perfect manifesting song. I also like Do It Like a Girl. And then I listen to songs that aren't particularly manifestation songs, but they just make me feel very high vibe. And that's things like Sia, Unstoppable. There's lots of her songs that are like that. Unstoppable is a really good one. And I also like Ariana Grande's Just Like Magic, is all about manifestation. So that's another one. If you've got any that you really love, please do send them to me, because I like to add to my manifestation playlist all the time. Or just it's named my high vibe list. Just play it whenever you can. If you can, get up and dance as well. Movement always helps to get you in high vibe. Which leads me in nicely to number 4, which is movement while visualizing. So when I say this, I mean go to a class. I absolutely love exercise. It's good for your ADHD. If you hate exercise, I promise you, if you find a class that you like, it might not be the first one, it might not be the second one, but you will find an exercise class that you like. And once you do, it's going to make such a difference to both your ADHD symptoms, your overall confidence, and your overall well-being. And what I do is I go to Zumba classes, which I absolutely love because it's basically just dancing. and I was always a dancer back in the day, or yoga, any type of class like that where you can just forget about the world and be in your body. That is a great time to also visualize, and it like supercharges your manifestations. I promise you, things that I think about in Zumba, whenever I start thinking about my goals in Zumba, ideas just pop into my head, opportunities that were so obvious but I never thought of before. It's something about getting your body moving whilst focusing on those goals. Ideas just pop into your head that you never had before. It's so good. Number 5, random acts of kindness. So this is really to spread the positive energy. There's no better feeling than giving. I promise you, how you feel when you've gotten someone the perfect Christmas present, or how you feel when you're so excited to tell someone there's a surprise or give them good news. This ripple effect of good vibes is really, really effective. I hope you can't hear that rain, by the way, because it is absolutely chucking it down, but I'm going to carry on. The ripple effect of good vibes, and this doesn't have to be something with money. It can be doing someone a favour, I don't know, giving them a phone call, giving someone who may be older in your family and they're feeling a bit lonely or something, just giving them a phone call on a Friday night and asking them how their day was. That can be a random act of kindness. Silly things like when you're parking and you've got a little bit left on your ticket, find someone who's at the pay station and give them your ticket. Things like that, random acts of kindness. They're fun to do, they're easy to do, and they spread positive energy and they raise your vibe. Number 6, go to events. Now, this one, I know it might be controversial because events usually cost money. If you can find free events, definitely go and do them. But if you have got a little bit of money, I recommend spending it not on new gadgets, not on new things, but go to an in-person event of like-minded people. This can be a manifestation event, it can be a personal development event, or it could just be a music concert, something like that. Go to somewhere where it is high vibe for you, it puts you in a good mood. Again, you move in your body. But if you do go to a manifestation event together, that sense of community, being around people that think in the same way, that want the same things, it super boosts any of your manifestations. It helps to motivate you to take action. It helps to cement in your mind, okay, this is important to me. This is what I'm working towards. Plus, it's really, really fun. There's a lot of excitement at these type of events. I have been to a few in my time. I went to Francesca Amber's this year. I went to see Stephen Bartlett this year. A couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, I went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within, and it still affects me today. It changed my life for sure. And that's not because of anything he said that was so crazy, and if I watched him online, I don't think I would have gotten as much out of it as I did being there in person among that crowd. I didn't know anyone there and I walked on fire by the end of it. I'll tell you about that another time, but we did a fire walk, and I am not a daredevil, and I felt on top of the world, and it absolutely changed my life. So in-person events, especially for ADHD, it's very stimulating. It's very dopamine inducing. Would recommend. 7, active meditation. So basically this is just listening to a meditation whilst walking or exercising. I like to go on a nice nature walk, not today because it's absolutely chucking it down, but I like to get my big headphones on, get all snuggly warm and just go for a nice walk in the daytime, not in the dark with your headphones on. Don't be crossing big roads. Disclaimer here. Be aware of your surroundings, but just listening to a nice meditation while walking and being very present, that is gonna elevate your mindset and your well-being, and it definitely helps ADHD. Meditation is very good for ADHD. It's been proven in lots of studies. The problem is we find it hard to actually settle down and meditate, but if we can find a way to do it, it's very beneficial. I find doing something whilst I'm trying to meditate helps a lot. So active meditation. And finally, number 8 is play. There's nothing easier, there's nothing more fun than finding ways to add play into your life. And if you're using this specifically for manifestation, you want to make it light-hearted. You want to be like, let's see if we can manifest this crazy thing. the thing that springs to mind for me is we were asked a while ago in my book club to pick a sign that you want to see from the universe if you're on the right path. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I did believe in it, but I didn't fully. So I was like, I don't know, a blue deer. I didn't have a lot of pressure on myself to see the blue deer. I wasn't like, oh, I've got to see this blue deer. It's very serious, but very serious. It was more like, oh, wouldn't it be really funny now if we saw a blue deer? Like, how funny would it be? And Emma Mumford puts it well in her book, what's it called? Positively Wealthy. She puts it really well, where one of her chapters is, we have to say, wouldn't it be nice if... And I want to change that slightly to, wouldn't it be funny if? Because in our ADHD mind, we take the pressure off. We think it's a laugh. We're going to be more into it for like, wouldn't it be funny if I just found a £50 note in the street? How funny would it be if I just said, now, I want to find a £50 note, and then I found it? Or obviously that's a really bad example. I'm not great at examples, but you get my drift. You want the vibe of, how funny would it be if this crazy thing happened to me and I manifested it? Like, how excited would we be? How much would we scream at how funny this is that I've said I want to manifest it and it actually happened? So that is the feeling we want. You can also play in other ways. Like, I've just got a Zen garden for Christmas. If you don't know what one of them is, just Google it. You'll know once you see it. It's just like a little box of sand. You get a rake, you get these little ornaments, and you just rake through it. It's supposed to be a part of like meditation and well-being practice. I love to play with it, and it does help my ADHD. At the moment, I'm unmedicated because of the shortage, and it really calmed me down the other day because you're not thinking about anything. You're just concentrating on the sand and trying to get it straight and trying to do the waves. You'll get it. Google it. Have a look. Zen gardens. Play with those. I personally love to play with crystals as well. They're just so pretty. They're just so shiny. And they are said to carry energy. I do believe that they do. But if not, they're fun to play with. So why not set intentions? Why not play pretend? And, that also goes into act as if. So from as far back as The Secret, when that book was written by Rhonda Byrne, it's a very simplified version of the law of attraction, but one of her steps was act as if. And that is when you act as if the thing you want has already happened. So if you're looking for a partner, you only put your clothes in one half of the wardrobe, because if you had a partner, you wouldn't be filling the whole wardrobe with your clothes. Or maybe you would. That's what my husband does. He takes over the whole wardrobe. Or just sleep on one side of the bed, because if you had a partner, you wouldn't be slap bang in the middle of the bed. So act as if. And why can't we make that into a game? Why can't that be role play? Why can't that be daydreaming? Like, let's do fun things. Let's think, what would this person who was going to Tenerife in a couple of months do? They'd be shopping for new bikinis. And that doesn't mean you've got to buy new bikinis, but have a look, put them in your cart, take screenshots so that when it is booked for Tenerife, you can start buying those and you don't have to start frantically looking for bikinis. Act as if, play, and enjoy yourself. And those are my 8 tips. So we've done law of attraction heavy this week. I'm kind of getting into this rhythm now where I'm doing an ADHD heavy week and then a law of attraction heavy week, and I'm alternating them. And every now and again, there will be the crossover ones where it's equal. It's half ADHD and it's half manifestation. But at the moment, I'm finding it quite natural to do week on, week off. And obviously, both do relate to each other. There's not one episode you will come on and go, well, that was nothing to do with ADHD. You might find some episodes where you're like, oh, well, that was nothing to do with law of attraction. But 9 times out of 10, if you listen to the whole episode, it all relates back to both because they go hand in hand. And I hope you have a magical January and a magical 2024. Don't forget to check out the links below. I've got my free bundle. If you're looking for diagnosis in the UK, I have the quickest way that you can be seen at the moment. Go and check that out. You can download it below. You can sign up for the newsletter to find about new things that we've got on offer, and when a new podcast comes out, you'll get an email telling you, so you never have to miss one. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review. I love the reviews. Come and see me on Facebook. The group is getting big now. We've hit the 1K mark on Instagram. We actually, this week, grew by over 1,000 followers. So I think we were on like 400 and something, and we're now on 1,500 in a week. So that has blown my mind. Thank you to all of you new followers. I see you, and I'm going to be sending some messages out soon just to get to know you a little bit better. And if I don't message you, please do message me. I love to hear all your stories. Anyway, I've babbled on enough. I'll see you next week. Bye.